وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. I welcome you all to Madina Book 3. Inshallah, we'll be doing our class 88 today. In this class, what we're going to do is we're going to do the exercises from lesson number 25. So here we're going to start with Idhan. So we did a sentence in the lesson which said Idhan antaziraka. So here Idhan min nawasibul mudari'. So what is nawasibul mudari' means? These are the particles which makes the mudari' mansoob. So what are the particles which we know? It is an. So we know an, it's a part of masdar mu'awwal. An plus fi'l mudari' mansoob. So it becomes masdar mu'awwal. So an makes a mudari' mansoob. An, lan, we know, will not. That makes a mudari' mansoob. Kai or likai. So whether it is used with lam or whether it is not used with lam, it does make a mudari' mansoob. And Idhan. We have another particle which you can read in the literature. It says hatta. Hatta on its own doesn't make mansoob, but when you see a mudari' which is mansoob after hatta, which means it is an mudmara. So these are the particles which makes the mudari' mansoob. So Idhan also makes a mudari' mansoob. What tusamma? What is tusamma? Means it is called harf jawabin wa jaza'in wa nasbin wa istiqbalin. Looks quite a big word here, but it's very easy. So Idhan, it always comes as an answer to something. So there is always a statement before it, and as a response you give a jawab. And jaza'in means you're doing an action in return of something which is being done before. So it's returning a favor, like you pay back. So that is what this harf, when you use Idhan, so you need to realize that something has been done before, that your action is in response to that. And wanasbin, so it makes the mudari' mansoob. And wastiqbalin means it is always, the action is always in the future. So it is used for futurity. Let's take some example, inshallah. Ta'ammal al-misal al-atiyati tafham ma'anaha. So ponder over the examples and understand the meanings with this. Hamid, for example, says sa'azuraka al-yawma ba'da salat al-maghrib. So here, statement here, it says sa'azuruka, means sa, we know it is a harf al-istiqbal. Sa'azuru means to visit. So I'm going to visit you al-yawma, today, which is zarf, ba'da salatil maghrib. So after the salatul maghrib, the maghrib salah. And whenever it is futurity, you should always say inshallah. So I said inshallah. So what does Khalid say? Idhan. In that case. So Idhan here, how do you translate it? It doesn't. In that case. So because he's going to visit after the salatul maghrib, so what happens in that case? So what is your returning action is antaziraka. So if you see here, so we have mansoob. So it has to be mansoob, and it has to be about future, that when you come, I will wait for you. Let's take some more example, inshallah. Al-Mudarris says هذا أحسن معجم مدرسي, means this is the best. So ahsanu, so here it is a superlative, it is not comparative. When there is no min, then it is a comparative, so it is superlative. This is the best school dictionary. So student says Idhan nashtariyahu. See, Idhan, so harfu jawabin wa jaza'in wa nasbin wa istiqbalin. So in that case, nashtariya. So ishtara, yashtari. Then 5 in your pocket, we can say yashtari, tashtari, tashtari, ashtari, nashtari. So when it becomes mansoob, the ya becomes visible and it gets fatha. So that is the mansoob here, and who it is here, maf'ulun bihi, which refer to the mu'jamin. So in that case, I'm going to buy it. So Ali says yasilu ustazuna ghadan ila al-madinati al-munawwara inshallah. So our teacher is going to arrive tomorrow to Madinatul Munawwara, inshallah. So what do you say in that case? So Zumala'uhu, all his colleagues, he says, Izan nastaqbila. Istaqbala yastaqbilu is to greet or to welcome. In that case, we will welcome him fil matar, in the airport. Some more examples here. Aksha in yutwa qaiduka. So aksha means I'm afraid. For what? Ain yutwa. So again here we have a nawasib mudari. So an plus fa'il mudari mansoob. So tawa is to fold. To fold or to close it. So here it means ain yutwa tuwiya means it is a majhul. So I'm afraid it will be closed. What it will be closed? So it is majhul. What is naib fa'il? Qaidu. Qaidu means registration. So your registration, I'm afraid that your registration will be folded or it will be cancelled. فَإِنَّ غِيَابُكَ كَثِيرٌ. Why? This fa is for a reason. إِنَّ غِيَابُكَ. Truly your absence is a lot. That means you are being absent a lot. For that reason, I'm afraid your registration will be cancelled. So what does the student says? Isn't. So now he become la aghiba. See, now here the la is coming. So what type of la is this? This is la an nafiya. So he is negating. So even when this la is brought, then it's still the mudariya remains mansoob. This is what is being taught here. Isn't la aghiba fil mustaqbal inshallah. So in that case, I will not be absent, inshallah. So let's look at the conditions at which the isn't makes fa'il mudari mansoob. So there are certain conditions. Tansibu isn't al-fa'il al-mudari bi shurutil atiya. So it following conditions. What are the conditions there? The first one is an takuna mutasaddiratan. So what is mutasaddiratan means here? So it means that isn't, it always comes in the beginning. So it leads or it comes first. So it comes in the beginning. That's what antakuna mutasaddiratan means. So here if you see an, it is harf nawasib. Takuna, that is your fa'il mudari mansoob, and the takana yakunu, that will have it is all ism and khabar. So what is mutasaddiratan here? Mutasaddiratan, it is your khabar. And what type of word is this? It comes from tasaddara. So it is form 5 and it is a ism fa'il. Because how do you know ism fa'il? Because there is a kasra here. So these are the things which you got to remember and ponder over it, inshallah, and we make sense of it. So go to the next condition here. أن تكون غير مفصولة عن الفعل بغير القسم ولا النافية, which means that the isn't cannot be separated from the fa'al. So they both have to be together. If there is some word comes in between, then the isn't will not make the fa'al mansoob, except that there is a qasam in front of it. If there is a qasam in between, then it makes fa'al mudari mansoob, or if there is a lan nafiya. So like in the previous sentence, it isn't la aghiba. So that I will not be, in that case I will not be absent. And third one is an yakuna zamanul fa'li mustaqbilan. So, and the fa'al, it has to be in the futurity, istiqbal. So if it is not istiqbal, if the fa'al does not indicate the futurity, then the isn't will not make the fa'al mudari mansoob. So these are the conditions which you need to remember, that isn't always comes at the beginning and it cannot be separated from the fa'al, except that there is a qasam or there is a lan nafiya, and that fa'al should always indicate about futurity. Let's move forward, inshallah. So here, the example here, isn't wallahi. So if you say yasilu ustazuna ghadan ila al-madinatil munawwara inshallah, so in that case you can say isn't wallahi. So here you can add a qasam by Allah, in that case by Allah, nastaqbilahu fil matar. So here you can still say it is makes a mansoob. Tasilul hafila ila al-matar as-sa'at ath-thaniya. So the bus is coming to the airport at 2 o'clock. So isn't akhafu an tafutanil rihla. So what do we see here? We have isn't, but we don't see a fatha here. Why is that? Because what type of fa'al is this, what is the action here, that in that case I am afraid. So here it is not denoting the futurity. So the action has to indicate that this action will be done in the future. So for example here, nastaqbila, that we will welcome him. So the concept of will has to come. So here it says I am afraid. So it is not that I will be afraid. So here, because the fa'il does not indicate futurity, so the isn't does not make it mansub. These are the subtle things which we need to remember. So what is he afraid of? Ain an tafuta, an plus fa'il mudari mansub masdar muawwal, which means to miss. What will miss? A rehla. So rehla means the journey. So we know fata yafutu is to miss, and the object which is being missed, that becomes the fa'il, and the one who is missing becomes the maf'ulun bihi. So I'm afraid I will miss the journey. This is how we would translate. So I hope you understand about isn't, that it always comes in the beginning and it cannot be separated between the fa'al, except there's a qasam or there's la nafiya, and the fa'al, it has to indicate the action will be done in the future. So let's go to the next exercise, very simple one here. Lastahmamtu wala aftartu. We use ma to negate a madi, but here we are using la. Why are you using la? La is normally used with the mudari'a. So iza nufi al madi la wajaba takraruha. So when nufiya means to negate, when the madi is negated with la, it is necessary, wajaba, it is necessary that takraruha, that there is a repetition. That means that two fa'als, they come immediately one after other, and then you use la. Let's take some examples, inshallah. وفي التنزيل فلا صدق ولا صلى. So saddaqa is madi. He did not say the truth. And salah, and he did not pray. So, but we are using la. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses la here to teach that this la can be used when the madi, there is a takrar. That means it is a repetition. And that means both the verbs come immediately after each other. So infil fi'alaini, that means negate the verbs fi kulli jumlatin mimma ya'ti bila. So in each sentence with the la. So it's very easy exercise here, inshallah. Qara'ta darsa wa katabtahu. So we have here two fa'il, qara, and that is your fa'il, and fa'il, that is your maf'ulun bihi, and katab is your fa'il, ta is your fa'il, and who is your maf'ulun bihi. So if you want to negate this, you say La qara'ta darsa wa la katabtahu. That neither you read the lesson or nor you wrote it. So how would you say this? Neither or nor. Ra'aytuhu wa kallamtuhu. So I saw him. Ra'a yara, to see. So I saw him, wa, and I spoke to him. Kallama, yukallimu, what form is this? It is a form 2. So if you want to negate it, you say La ra'aytuhu wa la kallamtuhu. So neither did I see him or did I spoke to him. For more example, darabani wa darabtuhu. So he hit me and I hit him. So if you want to negate it, you say La darabani wa la darabtuhu. Neither he hit me nor I hit him back. Akalna wa sharibna. So we ate and we drank. So you want to say neither we ate nor we drank, you say La akalna wa la sharibna. So we're going to another interesting concepts here. So book 3, you will see there's a lot of small concepts, very important ones, very easy, but there are too many. So we just got to remember and keep revising it, inshallah. Al-ana ta'ati wa qad intahat darsu. Now you are coming while the lesson is the lesson is finished. So here we are learning about the wow al-Hal. So we know, we learned in the past that wow al-Hal is wow which comes with the jumlatul ismiya. So wow al-Hal is wow plus jumlatul ismiya. But here we are learning that there's another wow al-Hal which comes with the jumlatul fa'liya. But what is the difference here? So we have a wow al-Hal, but it has to be followed by qad, and qad, and it has to be harf tahqiq. That means the action should be done and dusted, which means it should have a jumlatul fa'liya, and that fa'il has to be a madi musbatan. So Here it says إذا دخلت واو الحال على الجملة الفعلية فعلها ماض مثبت دخلت معها قد. So we know when قد comes مضارع, then it is indication that the action has not been done and dusted. But if there is واو الحال and if there is قد, so you cannot have a مضارع where it indicates maybe, but here it should be قد plus فعل ماضي. So that's what we are learning here. Let's take some examples. It'll be easy to understand. تأمل المثال ثم أكمل الناقص. So we'll ponder over the examples and complete the rest. دخلت المسجد. So now here we're learning both types of vowel hal. When the vowel hal is coming with jumlatul ismiya, we got to remember this, that the action has not been completed, still in process. So dakhaltul masjida, I entered the masjid. Wal imamu yusallimu, while the imam was saying salam, so he has not completed the salam. So now if you want to say that dakhaltul masjida wal imamu qad sallama al imamu, I entered the masjid when the imam had already finished the salam. So that is the difference. What you see is when after wow you have a jumlatul ismi, that is an ism coming after it. So in that case then you need to have a mudari', and if there is after wow qad is coming, then you need to have a madi. So jumlatul fi'liha fa'luha madin musbatun. So let's do some more example. Dakhaltul masjida wal imamu yukabbiru. See, so now here we have wow al-hal with the jumlatul ismiya. So I entered the masjid, and how would you translate? While the imam was saying the takbir wa yukabbiru wal imam. So how you want to make it in the musbatun? So you have to say dakhaltul masjida wa qad kabbara al-imam. See, what type of fa'il you need to understand. Yukabbiru, what form is this? Is form 2, comes from kabbara. So kabbara, so you have to use the kabbara. Wa qad kabbara al-imam. دخلنا المسجد والمؤذن يقيم. We entered the masjid while the muazzin was standing or saying iqama, you can say. So if you want to make it with jumlatul fi'liya, it has to be with qad. So first of all you need to understand what type of fa'il is this. So what form is this? This will be form 4. So aqama yuqimu. So you would say دخلنا المسجد وقد أقام المؤذن. So this is what we need to understand, that we have to bring a madi, appropriate fa'al madi. وصلنا المدينة المنورة والشمس تغرب. So we arrived مدينة المنورة while the sun was setting. So the sun was not completely set. So what type of fa'al is this? غرب يغرب. So we have to see what is it talking about. Here he is using تغرب. Why it is تغرب? Because والشمس is a mu'annas. So we have to use a proper فعل ماضي as well. وصلنا المدينة المنورة وقد غربت الشمس. So we have to use تانيسي. So I hope you understand that. It's very easy inshallah. وصلت المطار والطائرة تحبط. What does it mean here? That I arrived to the airport while the airplane was touching down. What is tahbitu? Habita, yahbitu is to touch down or to land. So while it was landing, it's not landed. So if you want to say that it's already landed, you say wasaltul matar waqad. See, again we need to see what type of file. Say ta'iratu, it is a mu'annas. So you have to say habitatil ta'irat. Habitat. So to land or to touch down. That's the exercise. دخلت الفصل والمدرس يشرح الدرس. So I entered the classroom while the teacher was explaining. So now we have to bring it with قد. So دخلت الفصل. What is يشرح? شرح يشرح. So وقد شرح المدرس الدرس. That is how you would make a sentence inshallah. So now we're going to the next concept again. So we're going to learn this fa'al. Ja'ala, very interesting fa'al, and it is very important because it comes in different meanings. So what does it indicate? That's what we're going to learn here. Ja'ala, it has basically 4 meanings to it. So we're going to learn one by one, and we're going to understand how to understand in what way when we read in the Quran, inshallah. So the first one is it indicates to change or to make something into something. So you change an object from one state to another state. For example, here you have a ghurfa. Okay, so if you want to change this room into something, you say ja'altul ghurfata. See, ja'altu means I made. Okay, and it will have two mafulun because you're changing one object into another, so it will have two objects. So ja'altul ghurfata dukana, dukana. So I changed the room into a shop. So this is what the ja'ala will indicate, to change something from one state to another. So if you give one more example, ja'ala al-khamra haraman, means Allah has made the alcohol prohibited. So the word ja'ala is used, and it will have two mafulun bihis. So we go to the next one. So the next one is to assume or to think, which is zanna. So jala can give the meaning of zanna. Again, we know zanna, it is to think something as something. That means it will have two mafulun bihis again. So if you give some example here to make you better understand, aja'altani mudiran. Have you assumed? Did you assume me? Ja'al is your fa'il, ta is your fa'il, you, and nun ya mutakallim is mafulun bihi number 1, and mudiran is your mafulun bihi number 2. So originally, whenever we have two mafulun bihis, we know it is a mubtada and khabar. So here he is telling, have you thought or have you assumed me to be mudiran? So that is what the meaning comes from here, from ja'ala. And in the Quran it says, وَجَعَلُوا الْمَلَائِكَةَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ إِنَاثًا. So how do we understand this? Ja'alu, what is ja'alu here? This, they have assumed. So now we have to see what they have assumed. Al-mala, so they have to have two mafulun bihis. So al-malaikata, the angels. This is mafulun bihi number 1. So al-lazina, so we know al-lazina is a isma mawsula. So here it's coming as a naat, so it is connected to the malaikatu, malaikata. So they have made or they have assumed that the angels, those that are which, hum ibadur rahmani. So allazina, we know it have a isma mawsul, and this is silatul mawsul. So what is silatul mawsul here? Hum ibadur rahman. The jumlatul ismiya is coming as a silatul mawsul. Ja'alu al malaikata allazina hum ibadur rahmani. So they are the servants of Allah. So the angel servants of Allah, inasan. What is inasan? Is the females. Comes from unsa. So they have made. So what is the two mafulun bihis here? We have mafulun bihi number 1, al malaikata, and inasan. So they have assumed the angels to be female. But what is this? This is a type of parenthetical sentence. So it's Allah is giving the explanation, like in the brackets. The malaika, they are actually the servants of Allah, and they have made those servants of Allah into a female. This is what the meaning comes here. So the third meaning is to create or to make. To khalaqa. So that is the meaning here, to create. So here in this sense, when it is used in the sense of create or to make, so it will have one mafulun bihi. So let's take an example. Alhamdulillahi allazi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda. All praise belongs to Allah, the one who has created the heavens and the earth. So we can understand the whole thing here. Waja'ala. See, waja'ala. So ja'ala is to make, or he created, and he created what? Az-zulumati. Zulumati with kasra. Is it mansub? Yes, it is mansub because this is a jama muannath salim. So and he created or he made the zulumati, that is the darkness, wan noora. It is a mawtufun ala az-zulumati because this waw is here ataf. So alhamdulillahi allazi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda wa ja'ala az-zulumati wan noor. And the fourth meaning is to begin. So this is also one of the important thing. We know the some of the fi'als which are used as a af'al al-shuru', to when you begin to do or you start doing something. So for example, we have learned before, like tafiqa and akhaza. Akhaza means he took. Tafiqa is to begin, and ja'ala can also be used as tafiqa. So they both can mean that to begin with, whereas akhaza it means to he took, or it means to begin with. And when it is used in this sense, to begin, so what is the thing which is we need to remember? That it behaves like kana. What do you mean with behaves like kana? That means it will have an ism and it will have an khabar. Let's take an example. Tafiqa Bilalun yaktubu. So tafiqa is to begin. So who began? Bilal, he began. Began what? Yaktubu. So he began to write. Bilal is your ism and yaktubu is your khabar. So we give another example. Ja'ala Hamidun yadribuni. Means the Hamid, he began to hit me. So here what do we say? We say that Hamid is the ism. Ja'ala, and yadribuni, jumlatul fa'iliya, that is coming as a khabar. So that is the difference how we use ja'ala. One is when you change one object from one state to another. So that means you'll have two mafulun bihis. So and the other way you understand is when you use ja'ala is to think. You use a zanna, again it will have two mafulun bihis. And third way to understand is to when you understand is that to create something, it will have normally one mafulun bihi, and when it is used to indicate that the action has began, and that time it just behaves like kana. So you will have an ism and a news about it, and there will be khabar. So these are the things about ja'ala. So we're going to do the exercises in our next class about ja'ala. So that brings us to the end of our class 88. So inshallah, so we're going to continue and learn more about this in our next class. Until then, keep revising and keep practicing. I'll see you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.